Hello, hello, my loves. This is your mid-month check-in for May. We are gonna go over a couple of transits, which I'm pulling up now, and then I'm gonna do some definition for y'all. And when I say a couple of transits, I literally mean a couple, meaning the most important I want to highlight from now to the end of the month. And then we're gonna go into this reading because I put them all in the blog. They're there, pretty detailed. Even going into June, the next main thing is gonna be the full moon in Sagittarius, which I think is on the 2nd or the 3rd. So we'll be good to go as far as those transits in that blog are concerned, or as far as transits with those transits in that blog, until I send out the June blog. But okay, so first of all, the energy of the Hierophant is something that we want to tap into if you have your own tarot deck, especially if you're not using tarot every day. I would encourage you to pull that card out, journal with it, sit with it, do some work with that energy as we move through the rest of Taurus season and the end of May. And I put a little bit more about that in the blog. You guys can check that out. Also, I've got your scriptures. I've got book recommendations and why I'm recommending those books and what they're about. I've also got your journals there. You can check in with that. Okay, transit. So the 1st of May, Pluto went into retrograde. The main thing with Pluto retrograde is introspection, self-reflection, staying on top of your transformation goals. It's going to be easy to backtrack, easy to go with what you always do and lean into the old. And we really want to try our best to get out of that. This time can be a little challenging, but it's transformative nonetheless. And we just need to stay focused. That's the main thing. Stay focused. We're going to have the urge to become the observer, take a step back and look at ourselves and assess. But we need to also tap in and be present once we've gathered those observations. So that is going, well, it happened on the 1st, but it's going through October. On the 12th of June or so, Pluto is going to move from Aquarius to Capricorn. I'll talk a little bit more about that when it happens, but essentially it's just going to create even more collective backtracking as far as social policy, politics, celebrities. You'll see a lot of crazy things going on with celebrities. On a humanitarian level, it's really going to feel like, the people's people are really getting to the bottom of the barrel during that time until January of 2024, where Pluto shifts back into Aquarius and things will seemingly open back up. As far as social change and power structure shifts within the collective and government, because y'all know Pluto has a lot to do with that. So that's what I would say about Pluto retrograde. We got a lot of asteroid movement happening in May, not major energy, but something to note. I did put some information about that in the blog. Venus moved into Cancer on the 7th of May. With Venus in Cancer, we're going to feel the need for more emotional security and stability. We're going to be thinking more about our past. We might be thinking more about our childhood and feel the need to do some inner child healing, especially as it relates to the mother. And if you have wounds related to the mother, it's likely that you may be feeling heavy, especially with this Venus in Cancer energy. This eclipse just passing, retrograde coming to an end, in that post-shadow retrograde energy brewing, and then Mother's Day coming up as well. So that's something to note. We're going to be sensitive. We're going to be moody. We want to be with people who we know love us, who make us feel comfortable and safe, We've got our last quarter moon in Aquarius on the 12th. That's happening. Not too much to know with that. It's just make sure you continue to release old habits and things that are no longer serving you. Strive for balance and progress, okay? Mercury is coming out of retrograde on the 14th. With Mercury coming out of retrograde, people are going to have a little bit more common sense. We're going to be a little bit more in tune with our physical reality, and we'll have a little bit more solid and direct focus, especially with Mercury being in Taurus. This can be very productive and progressive because we have a little bit more foresight, which gives us more purpose and confidence to take action. We are stubborn and blunt, so we are going to come off a little bit cold with this Mercury and Taurus energy. But that can be a positive or a negative. On the positive side, we're being more direct, we're being black and white. On the negative side, it's more of, we might have to watch what we say before we say it, or at least filter the way that we say it instead of just burning out whatever and saying, well, I say what I mean and it is what it is. Tone and inflection do matter. Jupiter is moving to Taurus on the 16th. This is going to open up a lot of energy for financial abundance. So I would set some intentions surrounding that, especially once we have our new moon in Taurus at the end of the month. But financial planning, investments, luxury, comfort, travel, I would set intentions towards all that. I would tap into that energy with Jupiter and Taurus. We're going to be feeling like we want all of that. So be careful that you're not overspending or overindulging, but it's definitely a time to dream and plan realistically, okay? On the 20th, Mars is moving into Leo. With that being said, we're going to feel another surge of creative energy. We're going to feel more confidence to take action. We're going to be more assertive. We need to be mindful of being too egotistical. And we are going to be focused on romance, passion, adventure. If our relationships are not stimulating us physically, mentally, and emotionally, we are going to be very much drained of it. And there's probably going to be some conflict that come up because it's like we really want this fire, we want this drive, we're feeling the need to do it within our individual lives. And if we're not feeling it in our relationship and then things feel cold, distant, dim, then it's likely that that's going to come up for some conversation. And then on the 21st, of course, the sun is moving into Gemini and things will turn around. On the 19th, we do have our new moon in Taurus. You want to take the opportunity to get grounded, stop and smell the roses, take in some gratitude for your physical experience, how far you've come, where you're at, and also where you're going. And then as far as intentions, like I said, financial security, stability, self-awareness, self-worth, even things as far as like how you want your physical appearance to look and beauty are good intentions to set with the new moon in Taurus. So those are our transits to look out for the rest of May. And then as far as our reading, let's go ahead and get right into it. Oh, y'all, a lot of swords. I don't like it. This is crazy. 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, check it out. I don't know where it came from, y'all. Excuse me, my randomness. Okay, I just dropped that card, but I want to pull a numerology oracle, so I'm going to do that, and then I'll pick it up. Okay. And then we can get into the nitty-gritty of this, because, baby, I don't like all these swords that I'm seeing. I'm just reading, honey. I don't like it. Don't like it at all. Okay. All right. So, what is energizing you? What is energizing you? There's a lot of new things on the table. There's a lot of new opportunity. You feel like you're at an open road. You feel like you have some new vitality, some new life, some new inspiration, some new dreams forming. And it's really making you feel good about the future, like you're actually working towards something good and like good things are coming. And that is energizing you. Where can you take a closer look? Well, in your mind. It needs to declutter. Got the 10 of Swords in reverse. Can't even pick up the card. My nails are not allowing me to pick up the card. And I was so ready to have all the major arcana because I'm using my 90s tarot and it has all these beautiful celebrity images on it. Ciao. Anyway, 10 of Swords in reverse. Where can you take a closer look? You got a lot of things floating around in your brain that really don't even matter. And you need to take a closer look and decide what's important to you, what you want to focus on, what you want to put energy into. That doesn't mean that the other things don't exist or that they won't, because you need to pay attention to how much time, attention, and energy you are giving them, okay? Theme of the month. Sitting with your shit. Got the 8 of Cups in reverse. Sitting with your shit. This is not a time to run away, walk away, to blow up, to shut down. This is a time to really sit with your shit, sort it out, figure it out, and go through to get through, okay? Going through to get through in order to get to that peace of mind, this 4 of Swords energy, that's going to be the theme of the month. Because right now, you don't have that peace. Right now, you haven't been able to detach. And some of y'all have been too detached, and you need to sit with your shit. You over here acting like you don't care. Meanwhile, you're mentally going crazy. So it's working out the relationship between your mind and your emotions, making peace between the things that you need to emotionally release and your mental foresight. Making peace between the things that you may be grieving and the things that you're moving towards mentally. It's going to be your theme. Obstacle to transform through. Somebody going to be trying to dim your light, and it might be you trying to dim your own light through self-doubt, through self-condemnation, through toxic guilt, toxic shame, constantly being in your head, feeling like you need to be over here, over there, 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 but not really tapping in to see, like, all I need to do is shift my perspective. All I need to do is put my mind on a new wavelength, and everything else will make sense. You can't see straight because you can't think straight, and that's really messing you up. It's really messing you up. I was about to say something. Shoot. Yo, I hate when this happens and I lose my train of thought. I went to look at something so I could tell y'all something about what came up, and it literally just left me. It might be you trying to dim your own light, talking yourself out of things through self condemnation, toxic guilt, and you really just need to shift your perspective. You need to embrace the mental breakthroughs that are coming through. You need to step into your creativity and embrace your ability to perceive information and apply your wisdom on a new level from a different perspective. Okay, that's going to be your shining light. The obstacle is recognizing it. Okay, recognizing it and seeing it for what it is, because you're going to be wanting to talk yourself out of it due to the lack of detachment or over attachment, whichever one applies to you, and the lack of mental peace, which prevents you from getting clarity. Okay, I hope that makes sense, y'all. Please comment below and tell me if it makes sense. Major point of progress or accomplishment. We got the Five of Swords. So if you feel like you've been having to defend your character, you've been having to really go ham on somebody about who you are, what you stand for, what you're about, what you do, this is a good sign that accomplishment or something that you're going to accomplish for the rest of this month is like feeling like what you're fighting for or what you're competing for, you got your win. Now, the bad side of this energy is like, at what cost? At what karma is this win? Like, what karma is this win bringing me? And how far am I willing to go to get it? What am I willing to say? What am I willing to do? How far am I willing to go? How far am I willing to go? You know, if they go low, am I going to hell? Or am I going to keep some type of truth and value to it? And so that's something for you to think about, because it's like, yeah, the progress or accomplishment can be that you get that win, you know, you end up getting the upper hand, or your side is seen and you feel like you're right or you prevailed or whatever, but is it really worth it in the long run? So it's just like making sure that you balance that out and not overdo it, okay? To make that like a good win and not a win that's gonna come back later and bite you in the ass. Part of self to embrace, we've got the Nine of Wands. So I feel like as far as a part of self to embrace, the Nine of Wands is telling you, listen, you've been going through some tests. Embrace your strength, embrace your power, understand that these truths, these emotions, these mental swords that have been coming up, absorb the lessons that they bring and trust your strength, trust your knowledge, trust your wisdom, and walk in it confidently in order to get you through this test, because this is really about leveling up. Okay, so as far as part of self to embrace your wisdom, embrace your strength, embrace your ability to survive and prevail against all odds. Things to avoid: going on from one thing to the next, one thing to the next, one thing to the next mentally, and not finishing things up, whether it's projects, whether it's relationships, whether it's conversations. Like, stop letting your mind just go on from one thing to the next, one thing to the next, one thing to the next, and not getting anything done. Where are you going to find support? You can find support in trusting your intuition and embracing the insight that you receive, not only from the world and the people around you, but also from spirit. Let's see. Another thing with support, passion, fresh perspective, solid judgment, you can find support in slowing down and not acting too quickly on things. Yeah, that's what I would say as far as where to find support. Additional guidance, we have vulnerability come up as the shadow card, and then we have this domestic harmony card come up, number 46. As far as domestic harmony in 46, I always tell y'all the home is where the heart is. Your heart is in your body. So as long as you feel at home in your body, you will feel at home anywhere you are. With that being said, you can't feel at home in your body no matter how happy you are with your appearance if you are not at peace mentally. So when we speak about the number 4 and we talk about the balance, the security, the stability, the structure that comes with 4, the foundation that comes with 4 in order for things to continue to grow and be built upon. And then we talk about the victory and the love and the power and the integration at 6, and then we add 6 and 4 and we get 10, and we put that with the completion and the beginning and the lightheartedness. It makes sense because, again, this is the 5th month. We're in May. We're in a season of change. We're in a season of transformation. It's going to come with some chaos. It's going to come with some tests. It may not necessarily be easy. It is going to push us to a point of vulnerability that may be uncomfortable for us, but that vulnerability is definitely necessary in order to level up, okay? So I actually was going to read y'all this vulnerability card, but I'm not even gonna read it. I feel like Spirit said what it needed to say just through that alone. I'm gonna read this postcard from Spirit, and then I'm going to go ahead and end this for you guys so that we are not here for too long. All right, it says, Dear you, do you feel like you need to do all the work and fix everything for everyone, or you might have no value? Maybe you think you need to control everything, or else nothing will get done. Be healed, be completed, etc. You might think you need to conform to what others expect of you, or choose a course of action to manipulate an outcome, but we don't think that would be a good choice. How about this? Even if it makes you temporarily uncomfortable, do something different. Set that boundary, delegate responsibility to another, ask for your needs to be met, and when faced with an impossible situation or sticky, enmeshed relationship, repeat this mantra. I didn't cause it, I can't control it, and it's not my job to cure it. Then carry on. Feels good, doesn't it? The best part is everything just seems to work out beautifully and honestly in the end. Love you so, so much. Ashe, ashe, ashe to that. I want to recommend this book to you guys again, The How by Yosa Daily Word, The How by Yosa Daily Word, The How by Yosa Daily Word. Listen, I've been reading this book since February. I finished it a couple of times on Audible. I went ahead and purchased the actual print copy. I've been reading through it, making my notes. I fully intend to do, I don't know if it's going to be a series or a video, but definitely a blog on this book once I get all my notes together. But there's a part in here that I want to share with you all. Let me find it. Okay, this is it. I'm going to read this to y'all and I'm going to end here. We are here for a prescribed and brief amount of time, a blip, longer for some than others. We are here to create, to love, to learn, to grow, to share our gifts, and very importantly, to experience joy. It's not about getting to the point B, but the journey, they say, and it sounds like a lie. But it is truer than we realize. What is point B anyway, but number 2 in a long list of even more things? To be clear, when I speak of joy, I do not mean the intangible state that we call happiness. When I speak of joy, I speak of something altogether more nuanced and real to me, something I can taste and feel and name. I speak of the experience and dynamism of being alive in the world. I speak of darkness and light, arousal and feeling. Joy is largely to be found in the dreaming and conceiving of a thing, the traveling toward it, who we are when we are with others, in or around our path, and what we do on the way. The destination is no fixed point, and it is never all it is promised to be. No sooner do we land than we look for the very next place on which to set our sights. That in itself is no bad thing. It is incredible and natural that our desires are always regenerating, It is incredible and natural that our desires are always regenerating, that our desires should shift. But we should be wary of assigning a feeling of ultimate satisfaction to the experience of completion, or we will be disappointed. In order to feel vital and have any real enjoyment, we must find the beauty in the dreaming and planning and less so in the outcome. If joy is to exist at all, it can never only be now. It can only ever be now, Otherwise, nothing great is solved when we succeed. We think that there will be this fanfare of happy we think that there will be this fanfare and happiness will come. But no, if you do not feel joy in the getting it, there will be no more joy in the having it. Sorry, humans are just set up that way. We love a problem to solve, a thing to make our God, something we can exalt, something to pin our dreams on. Nothing will give you the feeling. It must exist on its own without condition, alive and breathing, reliant on nothing. This doesn't always seem to make sense since validation, whether social or monetary, seems to lie on the other side of the line. The green over yonder, the next place, when we have achieved, insert milestone, things will get better. When we have gone, insert place, things will get better. When we have acquired, insert new material or money, things will get better. This is because we live in a system that applauds material wealth, appearances, and status. But even after gaining some of the things that we said we wanted, we are still never quite there. Well, what is the point of the journey, you might say, if our day in the sun means nothing, if the accolades and achievements are pointless? I do not mean to deny the importance of goals, as highlighted in the previous chapter. It is a transformative exercise to name and say what we want and to imagine those things with creativity and delight. But I speak to the intentionality of the goal, what we want and for what reasons. I mean that the goal will solve nothing in and of itself if we are not suitably equipped. I mean that we can't use the promise and gifts of tomorrow to escape this very moment. If you are not spiritually fit right now, running anywhere else is pointless. The next place will never save you. Name 4 things that you wanted and now have. Do you still want them? Did they change you? For how long? Name 4 things that you attach great value to now. How long have you wanted them? Is there anything that links them together? Do you think that they will change you? If so, how? Now think of 2 instances in which you are completely fixed on some future outcome. How can you actively begin to enjoy your progress towards those goals in this very moment? Such inquiries are important, whether we know the answers right away or the questions hang in the background flowering. Something to think about. I will leave you all with that, and I will catch you